Everybody, and welcome to my latest YouTube video. Now, this one I'm really excited about. This is an interview with Cecilia Gronberg. Now, Cecilia is also known as a Zander Queen, as you'll probably find out. She's the best Zander fisher person. I'll say fisher person, fisher woman, potentially in the world. She's a professional guide, working for CWC, and we're going to bring her in to chat and have a natter with her. Hi, Cecilia.
Hello.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay,
Good,
despite the
good.
corona and everything. So,
Yeah,
me,
yeah. It's a bit of a mess. It seems a lot worse over here at this moment in time, but it sounds like we're getting back to some normality. Like I say, I've just had a conversation with you. I've been fishing for the first time today, so I'm just thankful, and hopefully it'll all settle down and we'll all get back to normal, and then I'll be able to come up to Sweden and do some fishing. So that's the
yeah,
most important thing. Let's get back to normality. Right. So what
yes,
we're going to do, we're going to run through 22 questions. So it's quite a lot of questions. Some of them are a bit odd, especially for you because you are such a specialist in one species. So I'll try and mix those ones up together. So there might not be 22 in total. So the first one is,
okay.
how long have you been working for CWC and what is your role within the company?
Well, I actually don't work for them. Well, maybe on the vad heter det på engelska? I think we have to say that again.
It's okay.
Uh,
It's okay.
in English, what do you call it? The big when there's a lot of people and a lot of
Yeah. So the big shows, you work at Sports Fish Master.
shows. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and you work at the show, so you're like similar to Avert, you're a consultant. So basically, you use our products and you help us out with advertising and working at shows.
We have a big show in Sweden, and when I'm there, I work for CVC and
Yeah,
where they have their booth. So, but otherwise, for CVC, my position is that I am in their team. I
yeah.
have been with the CVC team for I think it is 12 years. So I was actually the first woman in Sweden who became uh, a team member in a company.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
It still is cool. It still is cool.
Yeah, I feel like we have a what's the word? Well, I feel like the old lady because
Oh, don't be so
it
silly.
comes a lot of young women who wants to be in a team, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's
I
fun
think
that
it's a
you're starting.
fantastic thing, and I think more women should be in fishing. I mean, there's a lot more women fishing now than there used to be. In my opinion, there's a
Yeah.
lot more ladies coming forward and doing it. But the level that you do it at is a different level to most ladies who maybe do a little bit fishing with their husbands or their boyfriends at weekend. You are a professional. That's what you do for a living.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a boom of women who started to fishing, but many of the women, is as you said, say they fish with their boyfriends and
Yeah,
they don't have a boat of their own,
yeah,
and it's not so many of us here in Sweden who actually have their own boats and
yeah.
can do everything themselves. But
It's
it
amazing.
comes with
Honestly, I think it's amazing. And I think anybody who's been lucky enough to be able to see any of the videos, any of the YouTube videos of you fishing with for CWC with Albin Shargi and stuff like that, doing your type of fishing. We're going to go into what sort of fishing you do. They'll appreciate that you are extremely good at what you do.
Oh, that's fun to hear.
It's true. It is true. Right. So, what is a typical working day for you? So, in other words, if it was Monday morning and you're a professional guide on Lake Cebu, so
Yeah.
what would you do on a normal day?
Uh, well, I don't have so many guidings because when Sean on Lake Cebu, when he asked me to start guide on Lake Cebu, I told him that I don't want too many guidings because it's actually I have like 3 hours to that lake.
Right. Okay.
So I said we have to do 3 or 4 days and then nothing for a while and then 3 or 4 days.
Oh, so
Um,
you're actually 3 hours away from Cebu.
yeah, so I have
All right. Okay.
yeah, and it's this kind of fishing is very wind sensitive. So sometimes you have to postpone the guidings, and well, so you have to do a puzzle like that. But
Right. Okay.
I don't. But I don't do guiding like, well, my well, the job. It's something extra I do on the side. So
Okay. Okay.
because otherwise I'm a musician. So
I know you're a
but
musician. Are you a violinist?
yeah, exactly. So I worked for many years. I think it was 15 years, like a violin teacher.
Wow.
But now I do it. Well, I when they need me, they call. Oh, Cici, can you come and work Monday? Yeah, okay. And
Do you
then I
prefer
play in.
fishing? Do you prefer fishing or
What?
playing the violin? Do you prefer fishing or violin?
Oh, I think it's 50-50.
Right. Okay. That's good. It's nice to have a mix.
Yeah, it's the best mix because since I was Bella, stop. She's biting me, my dog. Since I was very small, I started fishing when I was like 7 years.
Yeah.
Because I grew up like 100 meters from the river Dalalven.
Okay.
And I started to play the violin when I was 6 years. So
Right.
I've had this for so many years,
Of course.
and I think it's the best interest. And golf. I play golf also,
Oh my word!
but
Is there anything you don't
I don't
do? Is anything?
I don't earn any money on it. I'm not that good. So
No, no, no. But I think you do well of everything else. I think you're doing quite well there.
thank you.
The next question's the most obvious question on earth. What's your favorite species?
Well, I don't think that's so hard to guess. It's Zander.
It
Zander
definitely
is.
is.
So,
Right, next one. What is your favorite method for targeting your favorite species?
what do you say?
What's your favorite method catching zander?
It's the pelagic vertical.
Yeah.
So I think that's the most fun. But I started. Oh, go away! I just have to throw. I have to throw a toy for her. Så, där, jättebra. Så.
What you don't know is Cecilia's got a little puppy and it's running around and biting her.
Yeah, she's biting in my holder for the phone. No, but I when I started fishing for Zander, must be like 14 years ago.
Yeah.
I did bottom mete. What do you say in English?
Jig fishing?
No, not jig fishing. You anchor up, and then you have like two rods with 30 gram, and then you have a live bait, and then you have it on bottom, and then you just wait for the fish to come.
Oh,
in Swedish, we call it bottenmete.
There is a name for it. I can't remember what they call it. Is it? I can't remember what they call it. It's quite a big thing. They're using a bait on a jig. Is it a large jig head and a bait, a live bait on top of it?
Yeah, a live bait. You have a live bait, and then you have a fluorocarbon, and then you have lekande. Oh,
a link. Yeah.
In my head now. Well, you know that tie together two lines.
Okay. Yeah.
And above it you have a sink that is no, it's not stuck there. It can move.
It's free running. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So when the Zander comes to the live bait, they can't feel the resistance.
Yeah, of course. It's a big thing on Zander, isn't it? Resistance.
Yeah, exactly. So that was how I started with the Zander, and I really was I want to fish Zander, and after that I started with the vertical when you do it at the bottom, you know, when you drift.
Yeah.
And after that the pelagic was getting popular, so then I started with that.
Yeah, I like I say, I've seen all videos, and I think that style of fishing is so it's so visual, and I suppose you've got to be a master of your fish find. Your fish find is a big part of it. We'll come back to fish finders later on, but when I see you fishing and I'm seeing you looking at a fish find, you're not looking at your rod tip, you're looking at the fish find, you're going 2, 3, 1, bang, and you hit it. Yeah. I think it's amazing. Honestly, it's really clever. I love it.
it's really exciting fishing. So
It does. It looks absolutely brilliant. Actually, a matter of interest, how big's your biggest zander? If you're doing a 21 pound zander,
yeah, it's 10.5 kilos.
10.5 kilos, 22 pounds.
I don't know the pounds,
I think it's 22
but
pounds in your, yeah.
uh,
Right.
oh
So next question.
yeah,
If the above species, in other words, if zander didn't exist, what other species would you go for?
I like to fish for pike and for perch,
You've caught some
and I
really
would
big. You've caught some big pike.
yeah, I have 6 pikes over 10 kilos,
Yeah,
so that's over 20 pounds, I think,
yeah.
something. Yeah,
That's
so I
a
like,
big fish.
yeah, I love fishing for pike also, but it's been mostly sander because that's closest to my heart. But
Of course.
if sander didn't exist, I would probably fish for more salmon, probably more salmon, and well, that kind of fish.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but now sander exists, so
Yes.
yeah.
Do you know in the UK that they're not supposed to be here? So in a lot of waters, people actually kill them.
Oh, the sanders.
Yeah, so in the UK, they came in from, I can't remember, I think they came in from Holland, if I'm not mistaken, that might be wrong. They brought them into UK and they bred in our waters and I'd say it infested because I love zander. I think it's an amazing creature.
Yeah.
But they spread all over the UK, not all over the UK, probably the bottom half of the UK. So what the government have done in the waterways, they use electrofishing to kill all the zander and take them all away.
No,
It's
that's
really sad.
horrible.
It's really sad. We've got some really big ones in our some of our rivers have got some really big zander,
Oh,
and so some of our trout waters where we breed trout for fly fishing. Some zander in those they go to I think a 20 pound zander is about as big as they get in UK, so 9 kilo. So
okay.
some decent ones, but it's sad that in the UK we don't appreciate them like you do over in Holland and they do in Sweden.
No,
It's a shame.
here people are very good at the catch and release,
Yeah.
and in many lakes there are rules that you can only pick up mostly 3 sanders a day and
Okay.
between 45 centimeters and 65 centimeters.
Yeah.
And many people, most of the sport fishing people release the biggest one because
Yeah.
you don't want to get a big fish.
Yeah.
Because I pick up sometimes. I love sander also, but I pick up like 2 kilo fish, and that because that's a good fish for eating and to
And
do
it's
fillet.
nice. It's really
Yeah,
nice, and it's a really nice
yeah,
white meat, very similar to perch. Not that I
yeah,
say I eat a lot of perch, but I have had perch before, and it's a really beautiful white meat. It's lovely.
yeah, yeah. I
Now,
love perch also. It's the best fishes, I think.
very nice. Yeah. Um, how many days a week do you fish on an average week?
Uh, Actually, this year it hasn't been. I haven't fished now for almost 2 weeks,
Wow.
uh, and before that was maybe one day a week. So this year I
So you
have.
don't fish as much. You don't fish as much. I thought you fished a lot more than that. Well, it seems like you catch a decent a big zander every time you go out. So it must seem like you just fish a lot.
Yeah, it might seem like that, but
Yeah.
well, this year, it was in the start. I fished like maybe 2 days a week, but
Yeah.
lately it has been less,
Yeah.
especially since I got my puppy
Of course.
and well, it's been a lot of job with her.
Yeah.
But if we go back 2 or 3 years, then I've fished very much.
Yeah.
So it's been much less now, but I hope to be able to fish more.
Yeah.
Well, in June.
Yeah. Is
So
that when your season starts in June? Is it
we
a
have
season for
season.
zander?
Yeah, now it's actually the 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 time of year when you can get the fattest sanders
Okay.
because they haven't spawned yet. So,
Okay.
but it has been I think the biggest reason that I haven't been fishing so much this year is because it's been very windy here in Sweden.
Right.
and the
Okay.
wind is the biggest problem with my kind of fishing.
Yeah. No matter, I don't suppose, no matter how good your spot lock is and stuff, you've got to be solid. You've got to be stay in the same position
Yeah,
constantly for pelagic fishing.
yeah, it gets too wavy. It's too
Yeah.
much waves, and
Yeah.
to like boat is like this.
Of course.
So it's no fun either when
No,
it's windy.
I can imagine.
So
And is Sabo a really big lake? How big
no,
is it?
Cebu is well, I would say that it's kind of a small lake,
Yeah.
but it has it all. It has good sander fishing, good pike fishing, and good
Yeah.
perch fishing. So it has it well everything.
Yeah.
So I love that lake.
Yeah.
So, but I the most fishing I do at the lake that is more close to me. I can call it the super secret lake because I don't want to
Okay.
say the name of
No, it's
it.
okay. No, don't say it. Don't say it. Otherwise, I'll blank it out.
That was but when Bob sent me when she visited me, I
I've seen
told her
those
that
videos. Those good videos.
I told her you have to say the super secret lake. So we were
Yeah.
saying that, oh, the super secret lake.
Yeah. I can see that. I saw that video. It's a really good video.
Oh,
Have you
thank
known
you.
Have
It
you
was
known Babs for a long time?
no, this is the third year, I think.
Okay.
We know each other for 3 years.
Yeah. And you seem to get on
Uh,
very well.
yeah, she is a lovely person, and we when I picked her up on Arlanda, it took 5 minutes, and we were like this,
Yeah.
we liked each other instantly and became very good friends very fast.
I
So
I met her at FTEX last year, and
yeah, okay,
I was quite shocked how small she is.
yeah, she's
She's really dinky.
short.
She's like a little toy.
Yeah, I'm like 173, so I'm well taller than she is. So yeah, but she has a lot of energy. So
Yeah. Yeah. She's a good fisherwoman, definitely. Very,
yeah,
very good.
she is very good.
Um, do you prefer rivers or still waters?
What do you say?
Do you prefer rivers or still waters? So
Uh,
rivers or lakes?
for the standard fishing, I prefer the still water.
Yeah.
But I the where I got caught my first 10 plus sander was in the river here at home.
Oh wow.
So and the most of the big pikes I've caught in the river also.
Okay. Okay. Is that a big
Yeah,
river? Is that a large river?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a yeah. It's I think it's where I live. It's where it goes out in the ocean,
Ah,
and
right.
then
Okay.
it goes north
Right.
quite long.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've got some good rivers over there.
yeah, we do.
You're very lucky. Who's been the biggest influence in your fishing career?
uh, well, it was no one in my family because I was the only one fishing.
Wow, you must
Uh,
have been the odd person out.
what do you say?
You must be the odd person in the family then. You must be the strange person in the family who goes fishing.
Yeah, I was very strange, but since well, I was not like the other girls in my age because
Yeah.
I thought guys were doing more fun things. Yeah, because
Okay.
I've always done a lot of sports,
Okay.
playing tennis and ice hockey and everything. And the fishing was also something it was so fun.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
fun thing is I was fishing with the guys from 8 years old
Yeah.
in the boat. But I was the first one when I was 10 years old that had my own boat. So
Right.
I was like, I want my
I can
boat.
imagine. I can imagine 10-year-old with your own boat. That's only 2 years older than my daughter.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Then
that's
you have to
crazy.
give her a
That's
boat. You have to give her a boat.
absolutely. So you didn't really have an influence then. It were more your friends that went fishing that you just
Yeah.
went with. There were nobody just said, right, I need that. That's the person I look up to the most.
Not growing up actually. It's more when I got older. I through mom, he
Yeah,
was a big influence because of his skills and because of his positive attitude. He's always happy or glad and always like, now Cici, we're going to catch the big ones. So he's always positive, and I love that way of being.
Yeah. Yeah, he never grows old, does he? Just keep. It's like a young man starting fishing for the first time.
Exactly. He's looked the same for 10 years.
It's a lovely thing. I think it's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
What is your most successful lure?
Rubber.
Yes.
My lure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I must say I have two favorites. It's the vertical shiver in my color, Zander Queen.
Yes, your own colours, yeah.
And the one who is called Violet.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's transparent. I love transparent colors also. So yeah. So that's my favorites.
I won't go any further because there's another question coming up for that. Does colour make a big difference?
I would say that it depends. Some days it makes a difference, but some days you can put on any color and well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's how I think.
So some days they do and some days they don't. But in other words, if the fish are on it, you don't have to worry about what you put down. They will take anything.
Yeah, some days, and those days are so fun because you can I'll try this one, and they strike on everything.
And you know your own favorite color because you've got your own color.
Yeah, exactly. I prefer that one. She's biting me.
You need to put a muzzle on her.
Yeah, I gave her a snack, a stick to chew on, but I think she knows that she's annoying me right now.
She just wants to be on camera.
Yeah, she knows that she's disturbing me. Go. So.
Rattles in soft plastics, yes or no?
I haven't only used them for a few times, but those times I haven't
seen a difference.
Well, no, I haven't seen a difference, so I don't use them.
You'd think that something like pelagic fishing, that something with a rattle on it maybe give you a little bit more attraction, but I suppose it's more the profile. It's more the profile of the lure.
Yeah,
because you're fishing up in water. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
and the Zanders, they have a very good sight. They see it very good.
Yeah. So the sight feeders rather than sound. Right. Okay. Yeah. Now it confuses everybody that does this question. So I'll try and say it as slow as possible. If you went back to being a little girl, if you could go back now as an adult and go back and see yourself as a little girl, what advice would you give yourself regarding fishing?
Oh, that's a difficult question. I don't know.
It gets everybody. It gets everybody does that.
Yeah.
Is there something you've done in your career and you think, I wish I'd have done that sooner? Where you think, like pelagic fishing, in other words, could you say, if you went back to see yourself as a 10-year-old Cecilia and said, Cecilia, pelagic fishing is going to be the big thing.
Yeah.
Because pelagic fishing wasn't around when you was 8 and 10-year-old.
No. Now, if I would have, I wish I would have known about the pelagic when I was very small. I was the only one in the world that knew it.
That'd been amazing. There'd have been no videos, then you'd have kept that to yourself, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Oh.
If you won the lottery.
Yes.
If you won the lottery and you won millions and millions and millions of pounds.
Yeah.
Would you still do what you do now? Or would you choose something completely different?
I would fish a lot. But I would I would fish much more because then I would get a house well, I would get several houses, one down in the south of Europe and maybe one in the USA,
Yeah, yeah.
and go there when it's winter here, because
Yeah.
I don't like the winter fishing. It's cold and
No, but I don't
a
think
lot of
anybody likes the winter in Sweden.
oh no, so I would get houses and go abroad in the winter, and then
Yeah,
I love the Swedish summer, so I would
yeah.
come here in May and be here until maybe August, September, and then go.
And then maybe a little golf in between.
Yeah, golf. I would
Maybe a little
play
golf in
golf.
between.
Uh,
What time is the best and most successful time of day for fishing for Zander?
I think it's different from lake to lake,
Okay.
because I haven't been to Sibo this year yet, but
Yeah.
normally when I'm at Sibo in the summer, it's the best in the middle of the day.
So,
From
so right in middle of the day.
Yeah, when it's the warmest and the most sunny weather.
Yeah. See,
Yeah,
in over here, I wouldn't say that. Zander to me is a low light, really horrible
yeah,
coloured water. A lot of our canal systems have Zander, and
yeah,
a lot of them have got a lot of boat traffic, so they get churned up. So there's a lot of colouring water, a lot of sediment water. So to me, the
yeah,
worst conditions you could have is bright sunshine, and a lot
yeah.
of
Okay.
yours are in crystal clear water. Your waters are pretty clear.
Mm.
So
No, in Sibo, it's not clear.
right, it's coloured.
Yeah, it's colored
Ah,
because
right, okay.
it's yeah, it comes from the landscape,
Yeah,
especially when it's rainy.
yeah,
So, but the super secret lake that I fished on so far this year,
yeah,
that is better water.
right.
And so far this year, it has been the best fishing very early, and
Yeah,
then in the middle of the day also.
okay.
So they have their periods, and then
Yeah,
much more later
yeah,
when the sun starts to go down.
right, okay. No,
Yeah.
that's good. That's good. Um, how much involvement do you have in new products for CWC, and which product are you most proud of?
Actually, I've only been helping when with the vertical shiver. Albin, he asked me if I had a color,
Yeah,
favorite color that they could
yeah.
do a lure of. So I said, okay, I want that and that. So that's the Sander Queen lure, and
It's nice. It must be nice. It must be nice to have your own color.
yeah, it's really cool, and it has worked very well also. And many people has told me, oh, I only use the Sander Queen. It's so
Yeah.
good, and blah blah blah. So I think that's great.
What I'll do is I'll put in the top corner up here somewhere, up there, outside of Cecilia. I'll put a little picture so that people know what the Zander Queen color is.
Yeah, good.
Now this is definitely one of your big ones. Fish finders, are they cheating or an essential part of fishing?
I think I think it's an essential part of
Yeah,
helping the fishing. And then I know that some people think it's cheating, but
yeah,
uh, you have to have the skills, and I mean you can't just put a sonar and start getting fish. I
yeah,
mean, even if I have sonars and I've learned how to find the sanders, I can.
yeah,
Some days I don't get the sander, so it's
yeah.
not just to go out and you know pick them up.
Of
So
course.
no, and I mean when I started my sander fishing, I had a very small one, started pelagic.
Yeah,
And it was a very good way for me to learn without the side and
yeah,
everything.
of course.
So I could I usually I had a trick to see what side the fish was on. I
Okay.
used to when I knew that it was a fish either on the right side or the left.
Yeah.
I like this with the boat, so then I could see that it got stronger on that side or stronger on that side.
Ah,
So that
wow.
was my kind of side.
Side imaging. Yeah, of course it is. Really clever. That's really clever. So simple as well.
Yeah, so
So
it
simple.
worked.
I'm amazed when I look at your screenshots when you show my when I've seen all your videos and I've loved watching them. The thing I'd love to see, I'd love to see more of the finder, because I can see a lot of the time when you sat next to it looking down at the screen and you're sat there with a rod and you're slowly jigging, and I see you looking at the screen. It'd be lovely to see more of what you're seeing, because I use a Lawrence machine at the moment. Are you on Hummingbird?
No, I'm a Garmin.
Oh, you Garmin.
Yeah.
So on your system, when I've seen videos before, you literally are seeing individual fish. You can actually see a zander. You know that fish is a zander because it's at a certain depth in the water. You are literally going for an individual fish. So you must cover a lot of water to find that single or numerous fish.
Yeah, especially the
And
big ones.
without a fish finder, it'd be impossible.
But, oh, I have to put my dog away. He's really, really annoying now. Gå iväg, här, ta den här, här, släpp på den här. Ta den. So, okay. No, with the Garmin, you have the Panoptics and the live scope, and the live scope is so cool because there you can, if it's a bigger fish, you can see on the shape of it, if often that is if it's a sander or a pike. And I also learned in the Panoptics how to see the difference in another way. So that's really cool. And with the live scope, with the live scope, it's cool because you can do casting. You can you can rotate the live scope, and then if you see a fish 15 meters that way, you can cast. You can see the lure. So that's a very good way of in lakes that the fishing is hard with. The fish maybe learn that, oh, it's a boat above. I won't take the lure. So that's a good way to fool them.
It must have made your life a lot easier, stuff like live scope.
Yeah, it's amazing. But first it was Panoptics and then the live scope. It's because before I got Garmin, I was starting to get a little bit tired of to just have the 2D and the side. So when the Garmin came into my life, I was like, oh, this gives me so much more power.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they were literally designed for you with those.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely. Wire or fluorocarbon? Or should I say, I said this to everybody, and they all say the same. I prefer titanium. When I mean wire, I mean titanium and wire or fluorocarbon. What do you prefer?
I prefer fluorocarbon because I think the sanders are more clever, and you need something that they can't see.
Yeah.
So
right, next question. Barbed or barbless hooks?
What?
Barbed or barbless hooks?
Okay, I have never heard that word before, but I think I know what you mean. But I have barbed hooks.
Oh, you always go for barbed?
Barbed. You mean that little
the
thing
little
on the
under it, yes.
Yeah,
Always barbed.
I do. Yeah, I have barbed.
Is it just because you always want to land your fish, or do you think using barbless will be an issue?
It's only been like that. I haven't given it so much thought.
Yeah, so you've just always had barbed, and that's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. What boat are you currently running?
I have a Crestliner Fishhawk.
It's very nice.
I've had it since this spring.
Yeah.
And I really love it. It's a fantastic boat. Yeah.
What length is that? 16 foot? 16 feet? 17 feet?
1650, is it?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I
a really good platform.
Yeah, it's very good. I had Starwell before, 2 different Starwell, but then I was like, now I want to have something else. And I have always loved the Crestliners because they are so very, very good looking, and they're very much boat. It's very they're perfect for me.
Yeah.
And it goes fast, and I love when it goes fast.
What engine have you got on back of that?
140.
Wow, that's a lot
Yeah.
of brake horsepower.
Yeah.
You do like going fast.
Yeah, I do like it fast.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Wow. It makes my 20 horsepower Suzuki's seem a little bit small.
Yeah, I understand that.
What's the most important bit of equipment on your boat that makes it perfect for your fishing style?
I think it must be the transducer holder that you have down in the water for well, in front of my well, there, where I put my lure down.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's a Swedish guy. He has made, I think, the best ones in the whole world
okay,
that he sold.
yeah,
They called VPF,
right.
but sadly he don't make them anymore.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was the first one in Sweden who tried it for
Yeah,
him. And I told him instantly that it was so perfect because it won't move, and you can gas up to 25 knots and it
yeah.
doesn't move, but it gets very much water in the boat.
So is your transducer down on the side of your boat at all times, even when you're moving?
No, only when I fish. When I transport myself,
Okay,
I pick it up,
you
but
can pick it up.
only,
Yeah,
yeah, but I only to test how much it could hold. I put it
okay,
up to 25 knots.
okay. But you
Yeah,
always have when you fish, you always have the transducer off the side of your boat. Is that just because it's an easier platform to fish off alongside of you?
yeah, yeah. I have it in front of me,
Yeah,
like 1.5 meters,
yeah.
and then I have another one more in front.
Okay.
So I have two different.
So you're seeing the
So
fish you're coming towards, and then you see the fish you're actually fishing for underneath you.
yeah,
Yeah,
because I have the live scope. You can see it in front of the boat, and I
yeah,
also have the panoptics that also see in front of the boat. But
yeah.
nowadays I only use the live scope for the
Okay,
front, and then the panoptics down for fishing on.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
a,
She's biting me.
this is a final question, so she'll be able to come and bite as much as she wants in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
How has the coronavirus impacted your day-to-day working life? And do you think it'll change the way we fish in the future?
Oh, well, it doesn't affect me so much right now
Yeah,
uh, because people fish anyway. So
yeah,
uh, in this part where I live, there has it's very few that has been got the corona.
yeah.
But people are very careful anyway. So,
Of course, of
but
course.
uh, I don't know if it will affect the fishing. I don't think so. But
I
that's
mean,
my guess.
I suppose moving, people moving. Obviously, when you do some guiding, most of those people from abroad, are they all from Sweden? People that you take out?
No, it's interesting that you asked me because this year I was supposed to have two from England
Okay.
in the beginning of May. They
Yeah.
couldn't come, and then next month it's from Germany. One that I should have had the 15th. They are not coming, and then there are some others, but they were like, "Oh, we might come if we can." So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it affects me now, but when the
Yes.
corona is gone, I think it will
Yeah.
be much easier. So
I think I suppose it depends when they open airports. Airports are going to be closed for quite a while. I think that's going to be the biggest impact. People
yeah,
moving around.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's horrible for
it is.
everyone.
It is. It's been huge in UK. Obviously, it's 37,000 people dead. It's a lot.
Whoa,
Mhm.
wow, that's a lot. I don't know how many has died in Sweden, but
Don't
it's
don't
not
know
seven.
any
It's not,
know any of this content. does, but I think it's more to do with volume of people. There's a lot more. There's a lot more people per mile, square mile in the UK. So we all live on top of each other. Where you drive in Sweden and you can go 10 miles and see a house, and then another 30 miles and see a lake with a house. And so you're
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
I think that's one of our problems in UK. We're all on top of each other, which means it spreads really, really quickly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. In Stockholm is the most
Yeah.
well, where most corona.
I remember
So
when Leif spoke to me when the sports show had to be cancelled. We were speaking right up to the day before it was cancelled. I was due to come, and I were like, I couldn't wait to come. And then he rung me and he goes, and I was like,
yeah, me too. It was like because I think the sport fishing fair is so it's one of the most fun things in the year.
it looks amazing. I cannot wait. I must admit, I will looking forward to it. As soon as Leif asked me, I could not wait to go. And just to meet all guys as well, to meet all team, because you are quite a family. It's more of a family, CWC.
Yeah, we are very much a family, and
Yeah.
I think that's much because Leif and Truman, they are like they are because they are wonderful persons.
Yeah.
They really take care of us in the team,
Yeah.
and has
Yeah.
always done it. They
Yeah.
always have our back, and for me, when I started, when I was in the team 12 years ago, and I was the only woman in the team, and it wasn't so many women fishing at that time. Truman, he and Leif, they were always backing me up if someone was jealous or something.
Yeah.
They were always protecting me.
Yeah.
But well, a few years later, I mean, then I had made my name, and people were having respect for me, so they stopped to
They don't have to look after you now, do they?
Yeah, I have the respect now because, and that feels nice.
Yeah. Well, listen, Cece, that is it. That's all 22 questions, which you've done really well. And most people are about an hour and 20. So you've done fantastically well, even with a couple of intervals and problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's because I'm talking, she gets, because if I'm quiet, she's
Ignoring
not
her.
like this.
Yeah, you're
And
ignoring her, which makes a big thing.
yeah,
Do you
exactly.
want to get her on camera? Do you want to introduce her to everybody? Get her hold of her and show her to camera.
Yeah.
Look at that. God, she's growing.
Oh, what?
She's growing very, very quickly.
Yeah, she's 4.5 month now.
Wow.
And I think like 14 kilos.
Wow, she's
And
going to be big.
she's growing very fast, and she will be like 18 or 20 kilos. So she will be bigger.
Wow. Right, CC. Listen, that's interview over. I'd like to thank you. It's been a nightmare getting hold of you because you're a busy lady. I'm a busy man, and getting back and forth, and we've eventually got it done tonight. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's been amazing speaking to you. And listen, we will speak again soon.
Yeah, I hope so. And you have to come to the sport fishing fair
I'll be there
next year.
100%. I will be there. No matter what, I'll be there 2 weeks before to make sure nothing happens.
Yeah, perfect.
Listen, CC, look after yourself. It's lovely to speak to you.
Yeah, same to you. Okay,
Take care.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye. What a crazy lady! She's ace. So that's Cecilia Gronberg, one of the best Zander fisher people in the world. Like I say, anybody that's not seen any videos on CWC, swear to God, you need to go and look at those and watch that lady catching pelagic Zander. She's absolutely amazing. So on to the next one now. Who will it be? We'll have to wait and see, won't you? I hope you've enjoyed it. Take care. Tight lines.